Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why there is no such coaching program like my coaching program, and nobody ever will spend as much time with and on their clients like I do. True story. 2 to 3 times per week is the frequency with which I get together with all of my clients. The regular package, the coaching package, which consists of 2 to 3 times per week getting together over Zoom sessions or phone calls, is what you would be signing up for when coming into my coaching. And I say and or because sometimes people start with that and then they, downsize it to the regular package. You have the option to have a deluxe package, okay? In this case, we get together 3 times per week mandatory, okay, every single week. And in between, you have access to me over emails, texts, and even audio messages, all right? But they have to be 5 minutes max from you. Okay, so all the information from me is below. If you need to book me for an hour before that to make sure I'm your kind of coach, provided, you've already gotten to know me somewhat, with everything that I have already recorded for my channel, you can do that. I can apply that hour towards the cost of your monthly. So I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me. You do not have to pay all 2 to 3 months at once. You can go month to month because the truth is, I never really know how much it will take you. I can kind of guess, but as we start working, and like I said in yesterday's live, sometimes it's unpredictable. Sometimes a person can achieve in 1 month with me what another one will take 4. Okay. And so there is no, right answer to that. It's just whatever you need. Some people, really are able to focus and don't have that much trauma panorama. And of course, there's no judgment of that, but it's whatever you need. But on average, I feel like 2 to 3 months is sufficient, and you can walk away with all the knowledge that will serve you for the rest of your life. All right. And I want to keep reminding everybody that if you want to receive educational audios from me that are in depth, okay, and higher knowledge, higher subjects, whether that be SP, money, remote viewing, maneuvering energy, whatever, you will need to subscribe. It's $350 right now per month, which is ridiculously low compared to the amount of knowledge you will receive. You get an audio every other day. Okay, so what you need to do is book, sign the agreement, and I start from the beginning. So all the audios that I've already sent out to everybody, which is like over 100 people already on my subscription list, you will start from the beginning because it's kind of like an audiobook. And so you will need to start from the beginning to kind of start covering things. So in fact, I was not going to record today. And happy Easter, by the way, to everybody who celebrates it today. It's Orthodox Easter today. And for those who don't, happy Sunday. But I couldn't talk myself down, okay, to record this. Because I kind of watched parts of the live from yesterday, and Sarah's question, and thank you, by the way, to everybody for showing up, in particular to Kat V. You are fucking hilarious. Can I tell you something? You should be a comedian. You are just so funny. Thank you so much for all the laughter. But back to Sarah's question. She did ask me about, you talk about on your channel how manifesting SP back is easy. Why do you say that? Please elaborate. Well, first of all, dear Sarah, I don't know if you're new to my channel, but there's like plethora of material on my channel, right? I should start with that you can definitely get to know and listen to. However, I will say this. Why is manifesting SP so easy? Well, I'll tell you what, definitely if you have questions like that, you need to sign up for my monthly audios immediately, because I'm discussing not just SPs, but what will really help you, okay, is rediscovering your power in many different ways. And I guess the reason I no longer making and made a conscious decision, okay, to no longer make such an emphasis on SP, and I've never really made for myself, like for my teachings, the emphasis on SPs. And of course, this will be kind of like contradictory since I have so much material recorded on SPs on my channel. But again, it was simply because people kept asking me, all right? So inspired by all those people, I did record it. And why I don't want to make emphasis on that anymore, because that's not the help you need. Capiche? This is not the help you need. It's like starting from backwards. Okay, starting from the end, meaning not Neville Goddard shit now, but starting from the end when you should start from the beginning, and the beginning is you. Okay, you are everything, and you're starting with some kind of a schmuck. Okay, that is absolutely the schmuck, that is the aftermath of your thinking of what you're doing with yourself, essentially. And I know to a lot of people, if you're in this position, and I sympathize, I've been there many times in my 20s when I was absolutely desperate for any kind of help, any kind of solution. But I don't want to lie to people and say, oh yeah, like the rest of the coaches on the internet, if you do this situation, if you do this technique, if you do this online course, then your problems will be solved. No way. It's just not going to happen. You need to get to know you and why is it you're having this problem in the first fucking place. Okay? So I'm going to explain why it's so easy. Okay? From my own personal story, which I think helps people to kind of understand it better with examples. So like I mentioned, in my 20s, after coming to US, and by the way, parenthesis here, I've been married twice. Once I got married when I was 19, and the other when I was like 28. The marriage didn't last very long, needless to say. So by age 30, 31, okay, I was a different person because I worked on myself. But during my 20s, it was an absolute disaster. All right, because I just kept meeting one disaster after another. Okay, and what's worse is that I really thought that something was wrong with me. Okay, that this relationship with this disaster didn't work out. And I know this, it's funny to me because like I see myself in a lot of my clients when they come to me and they're crying on the phone and they're so upset. And meanwhile, I don't want to break their heart from the first session, but when they're describing to me how the person treated them, look, I mean, there's treating badly somebody and there's literal abuse, okay? Emotional, in some cases physical, etc. So my honest, and I've said this many, many times before, if somebody's abusing you knowingly, that should be the end of conversation. You should just find the strength to rebuild yourself and never look back. Why? Can you change this person? Yes. Do you really want to involve yourself and your energy in this transformation of somebody who you remember so much about being a complete another, abuser to you? I don't think so. From my perspective, it's just time wasted. To me, you're so much better off, rebuilding yourself, like I said, and then going on, with your life, meeting a different caliber of men, okay? Or women, for that matter. And so, like I mentioned, during my 20s, I would be just as upset as these people. And nobody was around. I came to United States alone, okay? I didn't have any family here, no friends, nothing. And I had to figure shit out on my own. And nobody took me by the hand and said, My darling you, what the fuck are you doing with this person? Okay. Well, a couple of times there was a situation like that where a friend of mine said like, hello, you can do better. But it was just a one-off. Nobody was really there for me in the capacity, that, I mean, for example, I'm there for my clients, right? I mean, no comparison at all. And nobody was there to remind me of my worth. And you know what? Just like I did it for myself, I'm doing this for my clients. What it really comes down to, why you're having trouble in these type of relationships that don't work out, especially with people who are not good for you, all right, and are abusive, is this: you don't know your worth. And this is what I do. I help people rediscover their worth, rediscover their golden Buddha status, because it's already there. Okay. Me, for example, let's take me as an example. I am very well aware I'm not the most beautiful person, or woman rather, in the world, but I have my qualities. Okay. I have a lot of qualities that today I'm convinced are very, very, very valuable in a relationship and just on their own. Okay. And I'm genuinely happy with every part of me, even the not so pretty parts of me. Okay. Don't worry, I have them too. Okay. Nobody is perfect physically. I'll give you an example. I have scars on my face and I'm working on them. I've had, bad acne, like, again, in my teenage years, early 20s, was very difficult. And I'm still working on them. Okay. But, that did not stop me from rediscovering who I really am and, loving my face anyway, loving exactly what I have anyway, whether that be physically, whether that's personality wise, whether that's finally coming to realize that my directness, which sometimes got me into trouble in relationships, is actually something I'm very proud of, etc. Some people can handle it. And if they can handle it, I've come to realize it's their fucking problem. Okay, something that's wrong with them, etc., etc. But in essence, it's already there with everybody. Okay, you're already the golden Buddha. You just need to rediscover it and treat yourself differently. Okay, there's nothing really wrong with you. There's a lot of things that are right with you. You, for whatever reason, have been conditioned to think that there is something wrong with you. Now, when I'm saying this, parenthesis here, okay, I am addressing people who are genuinely kind, okay, and haven't fucked anybody over. Because a couple of times, I realized this in my coaching, and I want to stress this again, and I stress this in my life, and I want to stress this again. If you're somebody who's unkind and you just want to get your way, I am not the coach for you. I'm not. A couple of times I've had these people where I realized that they were actually the problem in the relationship, and lie you will, and I will still find out, because some things will just not make sense. Okay. And it will come out eventually. You can only lie so much until some truth starts popping out. Nobody can lie perfectly. Okay. So I'm not addressing these people. I'm addressing, just to be clear, don't waste your time if you're going to lie in coaching. It's a profound waste of time. First of all, for you to fix things for real. And also with me, I will start picking up on it. And I will really just at some point call you out on it. And you will not like it. Specifically if you're, this kind of a toxic person. And so when I started realizing that, everything is actually right with me. There's a lot of things that people used to, like in relationships, my exes would tell me a lot of weird shit about my appearance, for example, or my character. You're too honest, you're too direct, you're too impatient, this and that. No, I'm not impatient. I just want to get shit done. I need an answer, this and that. So today I'm actually loving everything that I am. And what happens is that when you really look at yourself in the mirror with clarity, and I really don't mean just physical attributes, I really mean everything, your personality, your soul, your kindness, your generosity, all of those things, you really start realizing how, all this time you've been selling yourself short, and that these people were never on your level to begin with. So some of you really need to take inventory of that. All right. So one of your problems may be that this person is so not on your level. They will never be on your level. And this is why they were abusive to you, because they were trying to bring you down. But let me tell you something magnificent happens when you finally arrive at this realization that there's nothing wrong with you, and you start really genuinely, authentically loving yourself for exactly who you are. And when I was just about to turn, I think I was 30 already. Yeah, 30, 31, somewhere there. When I started to, my marriage wasn't working out. So we kind of separated. And, I think it was the last echo of my past programming, my second marriage is what it really was. Ended up, disastrously. Lies, cheating, shit like that. And I was by myself, and I was like, you know what? This is my opportunity to finally prove to myself that I'm a changed woman. And you know what? I started dating. We were already in separation. And to my bewilderment, surprise, and sort of like happy confirmation that it wasn't me all this time. It was just my programming and buying into bullshit and buying into being abused. I started discovering that the kinds of men I started attracting were, not to brag, but millionaires, entrepreneurs, really classy gentlemen who really, treated me like a queen, it just absolutely ridiculous. Like, I was not used to that treatment up until then. Really adoring, really lovely, really nice, really respectful, really genuine, all the stuff. And it was like, I had the choice, to really start a relationship at any given point in time with any of them. That's how like brilliant they all were. And I'm really not exaggerating. Like, was there an asshole or two along the way that I have met? Yeah, but that lasted like very 5 minutes with me. I became very respectful towards my time, because I started the fashion company, and also, just from the perspective of detecting the asshole red flags early. If they weren't nice to me, I just didn't speak to them again. And it usually just ended at a phone call or conversation, over email or something like that, or text. And so it became a whole other shebang. A really just, and again, I just, gotten separated. I was in the middle of like a divorce that was very kind of fucking annoying. And I wasn't planning to get into like a serious relationship, but I could have. Eventually, I did a couple of them until I, finally ended up engaged to the person that I'm engaged to today. But the thing was, it was such a night and day situation between the time when I was in my 20s, not valuing myself, not allowing myself to believe in my worth, even though my worth was staring at me in the mirror, literally and metaphorically, and the time when I started to value myself again and saying, no, I'm not the problem. My programming is, I'm not the problem because I was so nice to all these people, and put up with so much shit. And the thing with this is, the other component of this is, right? So you really have to be on purpose about it. I had to sharpen my manifestation skills also because, in particular, like with money and getting work, etc., right? Because I was by myself in New York City. Nobody was coming and saving me. So it was for me, up to me to manifest a lot of things, and on deadlines, mind you, many times over. And that's how I became a master manifester with money, etc., etc. But also then eventually, with relationships. And this is why I say it's easy as pie to manifest an SP, because you are the big goose, the golden goose, the golden Buddha. Okay, if you have your shit together, which is the most, important situation here ever for the rest of your life, there is no way that you cannot manifest an SP. Okay, because you see yourself differently. You see yourself as a person of value. You see yourself as a beautiful person physically. You see yourself as a talented person physically. You see yourself as somebody, with a lot to offer in a relationship. Okay, but to the right person. And so you quit putting up with bullshit. Why on earth a quality person like you would then succumb to some kind of bullshit situation or not value themselves to the point where they doubt themselves whether that SP will come back or not? See, it completely doesn't make sense, this kind of, equation. What it should be really is that you should have your shit so much together, your game is so tight, okay, is that you would be like, I can have anybody I want. I can just whistle and they'll come running. Okay, what's that? Change my SP and turn him into a different person? Done. What's that? Change his mind, get into his mind and telepathically transmit a different program? Done. It's a game to you. It's not that serious. So I really wanted to just separate these two, because people put so much emphasis on talking about SP, and that's valid and I understand it. But if you put this ahead of the work that you have to do on yourself, it will never fucking work. It just will never work, no matter what you do. No matter what you do. Okay, so again, you have to get your shit together first, and then SP is easy. Right now it seems hard for you because you're probably frustrated about a bunch of other things in your life, and it really is not so much about your SP, but you're unhappy in your life, period. If you were happy with your life right now, you had the money, you were making the money, you were in shape, and this, whatever your complaints are, you would be like, who the fuck wouldn't want me? I've got it going on. Hello, how are you? I'm the prize over here. It's like Paloma said in one of the lives, I'm the Powerball jackpot, motherfucker. She didn't say motherfucker. This is my addition. I'm no scratch off ticket. Oh God. I love my subscribers. That is so funny. Oh, I also wanted to mention Snazzy, or as he calls himself with his username, Fuckist. One of my other subscribers. It's such a funny username, I'm sorry. Who always comments on my videos and lives, and I really appreciate that. Really, really sweet. So in conclusion, darling loves, the thing that I want to really make sure you understand is that you first have to go to work on you, okay? When I didn't have my shit together, I was convinced I was less than, okay? All the while having amazing creative ideas and genius with which I was walking around day in and day out, okay? So, of course, I wasn't able to access all these gifts or exercise them for the majority of the time because I was too involved with drama, trauma, panorama with my fucking SPs at the time. And that's time wasted. Instead, I should have... This is the one regret that I used to have, that how much time I fucking wasted believing that I was less than. This is why I'm so passionate about this topic, if you want to know the truth. And because at any moment you can start repositioning your perspective. So as long as you don't have your shit together, as long as mentally you accept you're less than, you will continue being less than. That's the command you send out, and that's kind of the assumption you're walking around with. Meanwhile, you are a golden Buddha capable of way more than just manifesting an SP. And again, if you do have your shit together, then your belief becomes that anybody, absolutely anybody under the sun that I wish to have, or that I wish to come have apologize, or whatever, influence them in the way that I want to, provided it's benevolent, parenthesis here, without having to, try hard or anything like that. This is my belief that it's easy, then it becomes fucking easy. Today it's just like I only need to think of things and then they happen. Okay, with my SP, with anybody that's in my life, my employees, people I work with, etc., etc. I only need to think that somebody's going to email me something, and they do. It's like that. You have the remote control inside your mind. And so why is it easy? Because you're the one controlling the whole shebang. The whole show is in your mind. So that's why it's easy. But if you don't know that it is, and if you haven't practiced this kind of understanding, and you don't know that you're the golden Buddha, therein lies the main situation that you need to work on. Okay, so I really wanted to record this. Again, all the information from me is below for the coaching and for the monthly audios that I think will be superb for everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.